All right. Hey guys, welcome to the live. This is a little bit of an impromptu live just because I've been writing a lot and so I haven't had a chance to put up an official schedule. So let me just put on some music. You guys don't move. I'll be back in 2 shakes.
Power on. Radio. FM 88.2.
All right. Whew. All right. Whew, I'm back. I've returned. Okay, so I am playing as Black Canary tonight. I'm at a little bit of a new location. You can see all my drawings behind me. Ish. We are going to be doing a comic book read in just a second. So let me just get that started. Happy Saturday, by the way. What I want to bring up. What is a good song to put on to start? Because I was working on Good Morning. Ooh. Is it morning where you are, James Garrett? Well, wherever we are in the cosmos for the time space. It's been crazy for me because I've been trying to publish my book. So I've in the tail end of typesetting it and getting it live. And, you know, in that last like 5%, holy cow, it takes forever, right? Because I printed it out and then I found all these typos. And so, no, it's 5 p.m. Oh, and then I read it. Geek Pool, it's 10:50 p.m. We're in the same time zone then, Geek Pool. Oh, no worries. You know what, though? Time has been crazy. We have, yes, Black Canaries who we're going to talk about tonight. I love Black Canary. Black Canary and Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, are actually the two founders of the Birds of Prey. And today we're actually going to do some talking about totem animals because it's ironic, right? Because the Birds of Prey don't really have a lot of actual birds of prey. You have Huntress, Black Canary, Batgirl, Dove. You have who's Dove's counterpart? Someone help me with that. Is it Hawk? Huntress is wonderful. Super Luther. I love Huntress. I need to find a Huntress. We need to put a call out into the universe because I'm working on a dance routine of I'll play the song, but it's going to be a Birds of Prey burlesque dance routine because the DC Bombshells version of Black Canary is quite amazing. So Hawk and Dove, yes, thank you, Geek Pool. I can always count on you guys for all of the geek and nerdy intel always coming through. Redacted, thank you for the roses, and El Diablo, and welcome you guys to Saturday. I am playing as Black Canary tonight, a version of Black Canary, but Black Canary is actually super OG when it comes to the DC universe. Her mother was also a Black Canary. I would love to go to New York City Con. This year, I don't think I'm going to be doing any travel beyond, because I'm making a movie, right? So the Indiegogo campaign and the book launch, I had a party for it last Saturday, and I do have the replay available on Patreon if you want to get that. But I've been so behind in the actual publishing aspect of it, like the IBSN number and all the other crap, and also figuring out pricing. Oh yes, you started reading Black Canary. Amazing. So I'm going to read you guys actually some Black Canary tonight. It's not specifically Black Canary, but we're going to read some JLA, and this was also a gift from my sister. But it features Black Canary and Green Arrow, who are probably legit one of my favorite superhero couples. They have a really cute dynamic. However, they don't necessarily always end up together, which is like kind of like Constantine and Zatanna too, where they're superheroes. You don't really live the most normal lives. It's like gods and goddesses. And their relationships are usually speaking to higher like archetypes, right? What did I want to... Oh yeah, Run With Us. So I was making a dance to this. Let's see if you guys recognize this song. They do get divorced, Super Luther. Yes. But they're divorced in this story as well. But Diana still loves Ollie, like, forever. Even, like, and that's, like, a more mature way of looking at certain things when you know, like, hey, maybe we're not meant to be in a relationship together, but I can still love you, like, forever, right? And still be there for you when you need me. And, like, you know, that kind of thing. And I think just because you're not, like, together romantically anymore doesn't make that love any less important. You know, like, even the Birds of Prey, the love that, like, I really love in the comics. I should really do a Birds of Prey reading as Black Canary, because there's a few stories I have where, like, it's just, like, I just love girl gang time, you know, like, fighting bad guys, but also, like, how the Birds of Prey work with the sirens. So, like, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy and Catwoman are, like, friends with the Birds of Prey. And so, like, I do love how they have their own domains and stuff, right? Oh, thanks, Dean. I have my little headband on today to add a little bit more of the Black Canary look to it. So I've been just trying to play with the different looks of my cosplays. Black Canary, if I really go back to cosplaying, is one of my original first cosplays I did, because she's kind of easy, right? 'Cause let me see if I can back up and show you more of, like, the whole outfit without, right? So Black Canary wears fishnets. She gets teased about that in one of the comic books, and she says, these are not just fishnets, they are neurofiber fabric armor. Like, sure, girl. Jinzo, thank you for joining. And hi, Saithama, welcome. Oh, yay. Thanks, Ross. So I'm going to uncensor that comment, and I'm going to play the song that I'm choreographing. So I'm going to do, Huntress is actually quite a hard, like, the version of Huntress I love the most is the one where she's the daughter of Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle, so Catwoman and Batman. And, but her mask in that is so not doable in real life. You know, it's like that angular, I'll find it. Oh my gosh, I'm, like, hitting things behind me. I'm in a new location, so bear with me. I have, like, my sketches. You have, like, my Flash behind me, my dragons, my unicorns. So my little, like, creator nook that I'm in right now, because I'm working on my book, and I don't know if you guys feel that same way, but, like, it's one thing when you envision it in your head, and then, like, another thing when you're like, okay, now I'm gonna do it. So Helena oh, yes, I love Helena. This is Black Canary. So I'll show you guys. I'm going to play the song first. I'm going to see if you guys can name that tune. It's a Canadian song, which I read you guys from Justice League United the other day, and I was all shocked by all the Canadian content. People are like, oh, well, like, Justice League United is just the Canadian version of the Justice League. I'm like, well, no one told me. Hold on. Here, see you guys. This is the song I'm choreographing to. It's not done yet. It's gonna be very 80s. Okay, let me flip it so you can actually read it. This is the book. This way? No, this way. Yeah. Anyone remember it? No? Don't be afraid. This is the best part. You can. Everything you need. It's the Birds of Prey recruiting song. It is Lisa Lohead, Run With Us from 1988. Also, in the movie Hobo with a Shotgun, and The Raccoons, which is an animated show about raccoons, which I watched back in the day. They made this song for that, though. It's a good song, and it's got, like, I'll show you guys the video. It reminds me of They Live, kind of. They're in like the, if you feel you're going under, we'll be around. We got everything you need. Run with us. We are free. Oh, I have it. It's too hot in here for that though. And it makes a lot of squeaking noises when I wear it, but I'll have it for the video, which is what this song I'll do. And it has like, here, let's see if the dances. So 80s, I love it. Damn. Right? You have to have the electric guitar and like the jazz moves. Right? Can you picture all the birds of prey doing these moves? We're gonna fight bad guys in the dark. Oh my gosh, Lisa Loeb's. I love Lisa Loeb. We'll play that song too. I know what song you're talking about, Deanne. We gotta play it. Okay. I will put on, you know what? Super Luther, what a fabulous idea. My leather jacket's just in my actual jacket. Like I have a jean jacket, of course, because I'm Deanne. Oh, I'm a guy. I couldn't tell from your thumbnail because I'm blind. Dean. I like that name. My little sister's love of her life for a long time was Dean. So we didn't like that name for a while because, you know, he broke her heart. But from all accounts, they were cute. Deans are cute. Okay, so the next song we're going to play, oh yes, the new voice of one, the resurrected voice of one has entered the chat. Welcome back, my friend. Where was I going with this? So I'm choreographing a dance to Run With Us by Lisa Lohed. I'm not saying her name right. I'm sorry, Lisa. As for the leather jacket, I am going to put a canary on it. It'll be perfect for the fall, for the Halloween season coming up. So I'm choreographing something for this. I'm trying to decide. It's going to be Birds of Prey. Do Run With Us. If you know any dancers who do cosplay, get at me because I would love to do it be all like the different versions of all the different birds of prey. Even have some cat women in it because there's 3 verses plus, like, you know, like that bridge part, which will be Oracle, and she's gonna call up Nightwing and be like, and there's no one on the line, and he's gonna show up outside. We'll see how it. Oh, thank you. Oh yes, Voice of One. That's the book 1, but then I also figured out some stuff for book 2, which has the dancers are dragon warriors and the musicians are dragon knights. So it's like the cyber knight musicians and then the dragon dancers. But I'm going off on a tangent. Oh, thank you guys. So I will bring out the leather jacket at intermission. I want to read you guys something today. But someone had brought up Lisa Loeb, and I love that song. And that's part of divination, right? Like, oh, another song I'm going to play before we begin. We'll play Lisa Loeb first, but just a comment about divination and music and songs and stuff. You know, like when you go in your car and like a song comes up on the radio and you just hadn't heard that song in a while and you're like, I needed to hear a lyric in that song. That's like divination, right? It's like, everyone can dance Super Luther, especially choreography. Like if you get choreography and it's not like crazy complicated and you have musicality, which is like just being on beat, right? You can dance. It's just that you can't maybe do all styles of dance, or maybe some types of dance are just not as comfortable for you. For a long time I thought I couldn't dance just because I couldn't learn other people's choreography, but just turns out you just need to find the right songs that vibe with your body. I will do a kick in a bigger area. I'm actually also very sore from legs on Friday. I did squats for the first time in a long time, and I used to be able to do a plate aside for reps. I can barely do 25 aside. So how much is that? 50, 45, about like 100 pounds. Lame. Oh, okay, so the song by Lisa Loeb is Stay, right? Oh, amazing, Super Luther. Any reason why Supergirl? I also love Supergirl. She's a great, because she's an alien. So you guys remember this song? Yeah, it's a great song, right? And she's so pretty, Lisa. Like, you know, like that natural kind of like glasses and cute. I think some ex-boyfriends may say that about me. And you say talk so all the time. So such a good song. On Jewel. The best song of the best part of this song is where she talks about the radio. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Here it comes. Turn the radio on, turn the radio on. And this woman was singing my song. Lovers in love and the others run away. Lover is crying cause the other won't stay. Somebody's suffering. Oh my god. This just thought, I just reminded me of a song before we begin. Do you guys remember the song Fast Car by Tracy Chapman? I think that there's like an EDM remix to it, but Fast Car reminds me of like, because I grew up in the prairies, right? Just like driving in your car. I mean, like, I just want to like take my car and drive in whatever direction and like just feel free. And it kind of, I think, goes along with what the vibe of Birds of Prey is. Yes, Tracy, yes. So good. Let's play it. And that'll be what we begin. So just to get you guys excited about the read, where did I just put the comic book? Okay. You're in Saskatchewan Prairie. Prairie people. I went down a rabbit hole today looking at some of the sacred sites that exist in the prairies. Not just that, but just also like the Seven Fires prophecy and this whole concept of us being like the new people who are remembering the ancient ways and bringing that into the future. So I don't know. I'm biased because I'm from Winnipeg, but I think there's just something really special about being born and raised out in that expanse of space, and just the stars as your witness as you do your thing. I've been in the city for a while now, right? And I can appreciate it so much more, even though I love the big city lights, right? Yes, the Seven Fires prophecy. I was losing my mind. I just found out about the Seven Fires prophecy now, Voice of Fudge. And it blew my mind just because I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but if you guys are familiar with the Pleiades, right? Like, I know that sometimes we talk about like star seeds and like Andromedan star seeds or Pleiades or like from Regulus and all that kind of stuff. Like, but all of this is all just a model of your own reality, right? So when I read you guys comic books, I'm not necessarily proposing that it's reality per se. Oh wow, we're on the right path then, I would say, in terms of us discovering the stories that we're meant to find when we find them, right? Like the amount of knowledge that you have like imparted on me when it comes to comic books and how that all gets interwoven into things like myth, because this is new myth, right? So in it is the truth and the fiction, right? In it is the encoded messages that have been censored, because really think about it. If all of us became superheroes tomorrow, like the powers that aren't, like, would just not be there. This game is over, right? So people have just forgotten. Just, that's it. This is like a big state of amnesia. And then like once we wake up too, like I've gone through this as well, being like, what right do I have to have these dreams? Do I have the right to want to make a comic book. Like, who am I? Like, who cares about my story? But like, that's the point. Like, it doesn't matter. The point is that if you're called to do something, then to do it, right? There's this idea that destiny, I don't know, like knocks 3 times. So like if you get like these like 3 different synchronicities, because there are no coincidences, you just realize like, aha, it means something. Oh, and Bum Chicka, wow, I love that. Let's see, he told the 2-hour version in the language. That's, oh, I got full body tingles when just reading that, Voice of One. Because I do also talk about, I have a bunch of it saved, because that cosmology is not necessarily going to feed into book 1, but in the overarching idea of prophecy itself. Because comic books too have prophecy. This comic book I'm going to read you guys tonight, I'm going to play fast car in just a bit before we start. I'm not going to read you, of course, the whole thing, but I'm going to read you back here. It's The Justice League of America is No More. And this is just to tell you that, like, when we think about the Justice League, and even if you watch the newest Superman movie, it wasn't the Justice League. It was, like, the Justice Gang, and, like, Guy Gardner being like, yeah, we're the Justice Gang, and, like, they're like, that's a stupid name, Guy. But, like, just being tongue-in-cheek about, like, the different iterations of what these different superhero teams are, right? Different configurations, even, like, the Bat family, who's playing Batgirl, who's the Robin, who's in that configuration, what are you doing in order to do that? Who's playing who when you're playing that soul mission? And that's in my... Can I see my profile for it? Oh. Like, inside profile? Or... Okay, perfect. Thanks, Voice of One. Milk War is different, far sector. I love, thank you for that recommendation, because I really love cosmic stories. I really love, like, I get it when we get the live action movies. They tend to ground a lot of the superheroes. They tend to keep it in origin story fashion, because, you know, if you don't have the backstory behind all of this, just face turn it this way. Huh? There's a filter on, though, by the way, which has, like, extra makeup on, which might make it look a little, which, anyways, let's get started. This outfit gets me in trouble when I, but you know what? It's funny you say that, though. When I model, my best look was always, like, this one, like... That was, like, my pose. I always did, like, off, across the shoulder kind of pose. I always struggled with, like, face on, and also, like, yeah, because I used to model a lot, and I feel like it's a little bit of a lost art form these days. I used to love all the old models, like the Victoria's Secret angels, and just, like, the walk, and just being able to present it, yeah. Ironic, none of these movies would be approved by Comic Code Authority. Who decides what's canon, right? Like, in your own universe of everything, right? In your own universe of everything, you get to decide what's canon for you, right? So just no different than we were talking about, like, the 7 Fires prophecy, which I'm not going to talk about tonight, per se, but I have retold you stories about, what do you want to call it? Turtle Island, or other different myths and stories about gods and goddesses, and that's just my version of it, right? Based on, like, the first time I experienced it, based on, like, a retelling of it, right? Carl B, yes, I know, I'm from Winnipeg. That's where I first, like, the libraries all in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I owe them a lot. Also, Carl B, my father was a prof at the University of Manitoba there, right? And so there's multiple libraries there. Actually, a big thing I'm going to be doing... Oh, no worries, Carl. Like, I still learn things about Winnipeg all the time. My book is actually, and is dedicated to my grade 8 class of 1999. So it's also a commentary on how the world changed when 9/11 happened too, because there was a strange blip that happened between 1999 and 2001. just in terms of timelines and stuff. And it's just been a weird thing. You can't ever talk about these things straight up, right? Whatever conspiracy theories exist or don't exist, I feel like people have become so attached to things. Like, for me, what someone believes doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'm just interested, you know, like I have a lot of friends of mine who grew up like Muslim or Hindu or Jewish, and I grew up very like Roman Catholic, but I've always been very interested in other cultures' mythologies and cosmos, and been very interested in how they mirror each other, and how is my identity crisis read on YouTube? Not yet, Ross. No, I have to do that one proper. I kind of did something with Zatanna with it, but then I went on this tangent about like it's funny you bring that up, because this comic book deals with the ramifications of what happens in identity crisis. So, so in Identity Crisis, if you guys are not familiar with the DC universe, let's go back. We'll play Fast Car to finish off the read. Actually, I love Zatanna too. I feel very, very close to Zatanna's character too. And it's funny. I didn't even know about Zatanna as a character. Like, I only knew about her like very superficially until I learned about the Ninja Turtles. Because remember, the Ninja Turtles are, they're named after Renaissance artists. And Leonardo da Vinci is actually supposed to be Zatanna's great-great-great-grandfather. And she's supposed to be in possession of his notebook. And that's how she has some of his spells. So that's kind of cool, right? I love how these comic books do this way of have this way of making the ineffable and mystical seem accessible. Like, if we were to have powers, what would that look like in the real world? You know what? Not that one specifically, but I did go back to Birds of Prey and notice that there was a lot of kicking guys in the junk with the Birds of Prey one, and I need to re-get that one, The Death of Oracle. My Bluetooth is disconnected. So let's get started. So this GLA comic book is Infinite Crisis crossover. There are many crises in the DC universe, and every single time this happens, the worlds, I guess, rewrite themselves. It can get a little confusing when it comes to origin stories, right? Because we were just talking about Huntress, who Helena Bertinelli is part of this, like, I guess, rebirth iteration of the Birds of Prey, where Batgirl can walk again, right? And Barbara Gordon is Batgirl. The birds do kick a lot of junks, and they also have a no-killing policy, so they use rubber bullets only. I love Dove in that, in the Birds of Prey too. I wish they did something a bit more with the Birds of Prey and like did it properly, because they're such a cool girl group. So Crisis on Infinite Earths was the best. Yes, and it was the first crisis. And so after that, you end up in situations, which I think is the biggest part of comic books, which I find important, is the teaching of moral and virtuous lessons in a way that's not boring, right? It's like teamwork and just the different ways by which we are going to approach a problem, right? Like, I used to be a project manager back when I worked in corporate, and a big thing before you even do anything, before you put pen to paper or start building anything, is you have to decide the parameters of everything. Because when it comes to a problem, like let's say flying, for example, is a superpower, how one would achieve flight is different, probably dependent on what you would want to do. Or like for example, if you want flight, do you want to fly like how Storm does it in X-Men using like the wind? Or are you going to do it like Green Lantern does it and build yourself a construct? Or are you going to just be able to like power off like Supergirl, right? So all these different ways of achieving that end result can come to it in different ways. And so that's why I really love these different crossovers when you have different superheroes coming together, because based on where each of their powers come from, you're going to have a different way by which you're going to approach a problem. And especially when you're not dealing with small town criminals anymore, you're dealing with like cosmic forces. So I'm going to read you guys a synopsis, and we're just going to just jump into the read. And if you're new here, welcome. I read comic books aloud in cosplay, typically as a character who's in the comic book, as a way to show the meta way that we're living in a story right now. And just for you to honor your own character in your own personal comic book in the quantum library of everything, right? So that's how I see it. You don't have to see it that way, but I see it that way. Okay, so the Justice League of America is no more. With their headquarters destroyed and their team disbanded, a desperate group of former Leaguers gather one last time to honor their legacy and to say goodbye to a fallen friend. Hey Mari, how's it going? Welcome to Saturday. Happy weekend. I'm Dinah Lance, Black Canary, part 2, because remember, my mom was also Black Canary, but she's kind of a biatch. And if you want to, is it your birthday? Happy birthday. You're a Libra, baby. Aw. So it was like a little bit of a birthday gift. Happy birthday from Black Canary. I've been trying to do or do not. There is no try. I've been practicing singing, and I've also been reconnecting with a few of my friends who sing as well, because I used to harmonize with my friends, like 4-part harmony together back when like girl groups were like a thing. And Birds of Prey, how fun would it be to be like a performance group Birds of Prey cosplayer group, right? And we perform and like do dance moves that could also be like martial arts moves, right? Okay. So basically, it's a new JLA, and the reason why they disbanded is because of the moral issue behind what happened in Identity Crisis, right? So, spoiler, musicians, touched by the muses. Oh yes, I love musicians. I have as you can see, my little music note. Music is so important to me. It's taken me out of many a dark place. I've survived with music and the gym, and finding the love of my life. So, you can make it through anything, you guys. Okay, so you can see here the iteration of the Justice League. There's me, Black Canary, and Emma Hubby, Green Arrow. Supergirl's here too, so that's cool. I was reading Supergirl. It's so funny because Supergirl's character, like her character, her personality can be so different from comic book to comic book. Sometimes she's so sweet, so nice, and other times she's kind of like just really bitchy. And I guess like upset because she's an alien and feels like alienated and that. So the JLA that we're dealing with, this is the roster. But I'm really going to talk to you guys about the villains we're dealing with right now, because I think that the reason why I'm reading you guys this story right now is because I think this is what we're dealing with. I don't know. I'll read it. So here's the villains. First is the Key, an unnamed minor criminal. Working for Intergang, the man known as the Key developed an arsenal of weapons and left the group to forge his own career. He used his obsession with keys to channel his constructions, all in an effort to conquer the Earth and then other inhabited worlds. After repeated defeat at the hands of the JLA, the Key began taking psychoactive drugs which activated latent psionic abilities. So it's kind of interesting. He took a whole bunch of like psychoactive drugs and then made himself psionic, but then it made him also psychotic. He has repeatedly attempted to destroy the heroes and failing each time. The last attempt was directed against Batman, leading to a stay at Arkham Asylum. So that's the Key. This is what I want you guys to like. Envy. We're basically dealing with a villain called Envy, right? So one of the original 7 deadly sins, envy, was trapped by the Champion, a mortal who is given powers by the elder gods. The sins were trapped within the mystic rock of eternity, watched over by the Champion, who became a great wizard himself, Shazam. When the rock exploded during the day of vengeance, the sins were released, free to exert their influence over mankind once more. Dun dun dun. Oh, except for us. I love that word. Everyone's got it, but so this is what we're dealing with. I'm not going to read you guys the whole story. I will just say this is that the most interesting thing I found about this story is that we have the entity of envy working through the key. So it's this concept too of in life sometimes, I don't know, I've dealt with people like this where they let lower vibrational forces take them over, right? So they may have been, you know, a good, like at the heart of it, you're like a good person, right? Or like but because of grief or trauma or pain or certain situations or envy or jealousy, you end up in this state emotionally where you end up doing things that are very villainous. And so in this situation, the key is not, I'll just read it. We'll get into it. I'm going to skip through it because that'll explain it better than how I'm talking about. And then we'll revisit this at the end. And I'll tell you why I decided to do Black Canaries, because she and Green Arrow deal with a lot of stuff together, even though they're not a couple. So it's a kind of nice way to look at a dynamic of male and females working together. And even though like you have a past, it doesn't have to be this whole like drama situation. You have bigger fish to fry, like saving reality. Rachel wasn't cool, but I spent nights here before. What do you mean? Like, or I think I know what you mean. Okay, let's continue. I'm gonna actually first do the synopsis of Black Canary, just so you guys all know who I am. So Black Canary, Dinah Lance, grew up in the shadow of the legendary Justice Society of America, inheriting my role of Black Canary from my well-intentioned but domineering mother. Armed with super-powered sonic cry and a mastery of the martial arts, Dinah helped found the JSA's successor, the Justice League of America. When her tempestuous relationship with Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, reached an end, Dinah left the Emerald Archer to blaze her own path. So this is post-divorce from Ollie. And oh yes, I like the Crime Syndicate of America for some reason. I'm gonna unfilter a whole bunch of comments I forgot about here. Oh, thanks guys. I'm Black Canary, and y'all like superheroes. We love latex. There's armor underneath, right? If I had to defeat a man with just one hit, what would you do? You know, it's kind of funny. I play D&D on Thursdays, right? And so I did it as market research for my own book. So you guys can join my own D&D campaign. Voice of One, who's in the chat, he's going to be one of my official game masters, dungeon masters. It's not technically a dungeon, but it does have the mechanics are kind of similar when it comes to the dice rolls, except I have like astrology and chakras and vortexes infused there too. I was Ant-Man. I love it. I love Ant-Man. Alan Moore also loves Ant-Man because of the quantum realm of that, right? Because as above, so below, the very, very little is also the same as the very, very, very large, right? So I just print, these are my drawings. Thank you, Kari V. These are just my drawings, which I ended up printing out. Like, this is a printout. This is a printout. These are still drawings. Like, I actually just, like, sketched them and stuff. They have my alchemy stuff. You can see over here. But, Grandmaster DM or DM, they all work. Same concept, right? And props out there to all of you dungeon masters. It's not an easy thing to do. My dungeon master, What? Oh, World of Warcraft. I love that. Me and my best friend Laura used to play World of Warcraft on like an old PC. Both of us hovered over the same thing. Oh, thank you. Everything is like a muscle, right? It just takes practice. And no matter how talented you are, you still need to practice. And I would say that drawing is not like, if I had to be like, oh, my top 5 skills, I wouldn't say like drawing is one of them, but it helps me communicate with my more illustrative friends to get my point across, right? Oh, you know what? So, Carl B, I'm actually coming back to Winnipeg soon-ish. I was supposed to be there now, but I'm not because of my own writer's block that happened. Oh, Penguin wants to co-host. Give me 20 minutes, Penguin. I didn't even start the freaking comic book read. Did I say yes? Oh, okay. I thought it did something. Okay. I'm trying to work on something with Penguin where we do the dating game with Penguin. I actually have read a comic book where Barbara Gordon goes on dates the Penguin's son, because apparently the Penguin's son is like very attractive, and then the Penguin doesn't like him because he's like very bitter at this fact. And then he tries to run for mayor of Burnside and Batgirl. Anyways, it's just a full fun thing. So let's just get started with the read, because there is a point to me reading you the comic books. Yes, this is entertaining, and yes, I love dressing up as these ladies, because these girls, I owe a lot to the heroines of comic books, because when I was growing up as a teen in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, there's nothing to freaking do out there besides go to the gym, party with my friends, read comic books, and like dream a lot, right? So that's what I did, and then I made it all come true, and I'm out here in the big city now making that all kind of come true. So I'm working on my own comic book, which has lore based in, I would say, Canadiana, the best lakes. Yeah, we have a lot of, the whole world has a lot of rich history, right? But I think it's also important to note and give honor to you, like the uniqueness of like the thermodynamic miracle of you, and like how you came into this world, because no one is you. Like that's the whole point, right? And not everyone loves Black Canary or even knows who the heck I am. I actually wore a Black Canary cosplay to a boxing class, because I used to do boxing classes with my sister when she used to live here, and I dressed up as Black Canary, and I won tickets to like the first Birds of Prey screening here. But I love Margot Robbie. She's gorgeous. And I love her version of Harley Quinn. But the Birds of Prey are just not Harley Quinn's. It just doesn't make sense with her character, right? Like Harley Quinn's like chaotic. She has her own moral code, which like same thing with Poison Ivy and Catwoman. And that's what I kind of love about these characters, is that it's not so easy just to say like, well, this character's bad and this character's good, and so I'm always going to root for this one and then not this one, right? And that's the reason why even in this comic book, the Justice League has broken apart, because Zatanna, they make a call as a team. Not all of them, but they wipe Batman's memory. But Batman, being Batman and like the world's greatest detective, knows, right? And so this breach of trust, right, causes a fracture in the team, which, like, you know, when I was growing up in the 90s, bands break up. Like when the band breaks up, or like the TV show you love, like just, you know, it's the last season, it's ending. You're like, why can't it just keep going forever? Oh, I love Pan Am. Yeah. Oh, Dean, so nice to meet you. And yes, hopefully we see each other again. Because remember, there are no coincidences. You're meant to hear this message, I suppose. All right, Nightwing's also pretty cool in here too. So Batman, I think once he finds out that like they basically use magic against him, he feels violated, and it's just like, what kind of superhero team is this? Even though he's got some weird contingency plans for all of the members of the team, like, okay, Batman. But Regardless, they probably shouldn't have done that. And they did, and so this causes a big issue. Now, I'm going to skip a little bit of ahead. I'm going to jump right into it, because we got the Green Lanterns plus Ollie here. So we'll jump. Oh my, this world hath quite a lot of such people in it. So they're basically saying this world has a lot of superheroes in it. Ah, Ollie, good God, more Omax. And so you can see here. Relax, I've got you. So Supergirl comes in to save Green Arrow. He's falling. She's got him, you know. Relax, I've got you. What are those things? True humans transformed by nanobite technology into living weapons. Let me reread that again, you guys. Humans transformed by nanobite technology into living weapons. That's in the comic book. And yes, it's a beautiful printing. I love it. It's also crazy to me too how you can see how like the variant covers, oftentimes it's like the art is different on the inside. It's not a bad thing. It's just interesting. Long story short, they're hunters and we are the prey. Ah, the JLA. Maybe not the members I expected. But, as Mother always said, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. Look out! That one. Her thoughts shine out through the muck and muddle like clear crystal. Like me, she has touched the etherical. Like me, it wounds her. There really are no accidents, are there? Please help. Help me. Me, all it takes is a little finesse. And sanity will be mine once more. Oh, John, you sent the feather tiara. I was all into my read and I missed it. I will look to the replay. Appreciate that. I felt that from here. It's like I was getting into the story. So I'm reading you guys JLA, A World Without a Justice League, right? And so rebuilding after when you have a breach of trust or something happens, like, because, you know, in relationships, any relationship, it's not going to, you're never going to go, well, I don't know, I can't say this personally. Usually you wouldn't go on without a fight. Even like my best friends, you fight, right? So there's also this level of knowing how to fight fair with each other, right? And not to like low blows, mean-spirited things, that kind of stuff. On YouTube. If just reading straight through, yeah, yes. I think too, like I have to be aware of copyright stuff with that too, Demo. Like I was going back and forth with people about like, do I just do like straight on reads and have like the full thing? But I feel like what I'm doing going forward is, now that I'm organized, once my book actually goes live, which hopefully, yes, it will be live by this evening. Like after I do this live, I'm finishing off the reading. I just wanted to I got a message from the universe that I need to go live and read you guys this story as Black Canary. I don't, just the way it works, which is why I'm not doing battles right now, because then I'll go over and I need to be done by a certain time because I need to finish. But we miss stuff. Yeah, that's true, right? So I'm like, especially the crisis stuff, right? There's a bunch of stuff that happens where you're like, what the heck is going on? Just to get you guys up to speed, we're dealing with an enemy, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, which is envy. To give you guys some background as to what's going on in terms of the dynamics of the team, because Batman was mind wiped by Zatanna in what happened in Identity Crisis. I don't know if it happens in Identity Crisis or they're talking about it like it happened in the past, like a flashback in a previous crisis. But regardless of that, it just breaks apart, right? Too much trust broken, and Batman doesn't really like working on teams anyways. Oh, that's Wagner. You guys, like, you know, it's been such a sweet thing on these lives. I I will tell you this, like, I relate to Black Canary a lot, mainly because I too grew up with a domineering mother where nothing was ever good enough. So she always called me like fat and always like called me ugly and all this kind of like, so like, I mean, like, Asian moms are a thing. I've talked to other girls who are like, the pressure of all that, it is like a thing, I guess. But little girls, like, to quote Marilyn Monroe, you should always feel like they're pretty, like, even if they're not. Like, every little girl is pretty in just their own way. That's just the uniqueness of it, right? It's just like how you're gonna have your own favorite superheroes. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of cosplaying as Catwoman, right? Doesn't mean I wouldn't or don't love her, but it's just like knowing what you vibe with more, right? Or if like I have a crush on Nightwing, which I do, doesn't mean I don't find the other characters like attractive. Like, I love Ollie, I love Green Arrow, but like he wouldn't be in my top 5, and that's just different favorites and perspectives, and it's not being right or wrong, it's just being, and like being cool with that and like appreciating it. Do you relate to her? Because I also do kicks, Ross, you're funny. I do. I mean, a big motivation for me going to the gym was to be a superhero, right? I know that voice of when, but you're a girl, Dad. And I did also, to negate my mom, I had the best dad. So whatever cards you're stacked in this life, like, nothing is worse than the other. And one of my good girlfriends who I met, she had a really nice saying, which I take to heart, where she said, as empathetic people, we can always see the reasons, right, for things, like why someone would retaliate or hurt you. And in this case, which I'll tell you guys about, like, they're dealing with the entity of envy. And the reason for this is that one of the superheroes in here, Green Arrow, actually slept with her, like, and she was like married to this other guy. So there's like an infidelity here that's not really known about behind the other members of the team, but it affects the team, right? Like, even if I think about a myth like Camelot and King Arthur, the reason why Camelot falls is because Lancelot sleeps with Guinevere while like King Arthur's out doing a quest, right? It's the betrayal of like a friend to a friend and matters of the heart. And usually these things don't happen on purpose, right? And we let lower vibrational things like lust and temptation and all this other stuff get to us, right? Pika pika, right? And it's not to say not to have pleasure and not to have fun and not to have joy, right? But all of this stuff, that's the lessons of Libra season, right? This is the lessons of us moving from me, and to like we. And what does it mean to share a goal with someone, to share a mission, to share a quest with someone, and have it not to take a step back and try to see things from another person's perspective, right? And this is why too, Dinah Lance, in the world of like the Justice League and even like the Teen Titans and the younger members of the team, she ends up being like very much like a mentor figure, right? She has this whole conversation with Dick Grayson, which I'm going to bring in, where let's continue on. Okay, so here we go. We got, if these Olmecs are people, we can't hurt them. So Supergirl has something against, true that. Supergirl has stuff against like hurting people, if like these people who have been turned into weapons are actual, yes, progress, 100%, Buzz. Okay, and then Ollie says, Green Arrow, unfortunately, they have no such compunction when it comes to killing us. They adapt, Supergirl, reconfiguring themselves to counteract any opposition. It is impressive and annoying as hell. And so, initiate defensive systems, beta attack, negated. And Supergirl's like, holy cow, I see what you mean. She looks great. I like her outfit in this one. Like, because you know what's cool about these heroes? Like every issue, every story, they're always drawn a little bit different, and I always can appreciate the different ways in which they are. Okay. Thank you. You saved my life. I only did what was needed. You should get out of this area for your own safety. Now, if you'll excuse me, my friends need me. And then this creepy guy who's clearly possessed by like some demon thing is like, he forgives you, you know. And Green Lantern like smacks this other guy while this guy's having a creepy conversation with her. And she says, what did you say? Raven forgives you. Okay, first, I need to not confuse you guys with this Raven with the other Raven. Because there's two Ravens here. So, in this JLA, we have a superheroine known as Dawn. So, and in this book, too, as well, John Stewart is the Green Lantern. Sorry, guy. So, Dawn and her shaman mate, Raven. So, in this case, Raven has already passed, not to be confused with Raven of Teen Titans and like Starfire and that crew. So Dawn and her shaman mate Raven are Apache from 3,000 years ago. She and Raven traveled to the present, but when he had trouble adjusting to the new world, their relationship grew strained. It's at this point Dawn had an affair with Green Arrow. Dun dun dun. Subsequently, while this was going on, Raven died on a mission, and his mystic powers were then passed on to Dawn, who had to learn to harness her new skills and the responsibility that comes with them. So she basically has shaman powers from her partner who has passed, but she's holding a lot of guilt because while her partner was like dying, she was busy like getting it on with Green Arrow. So that's kind of a conundrum which comes up a little bit later, and we'll talk about that soon. So Raven forgives you after everything, Dawn, even the affair with Green Arrow. And then this is while all her like friends are busy fighting all the bad guys. Like isn't that wonderful? And she's a hussy. She just gave in to temptation. You know, it's like, remember those movies like Pearl Harbor with Josh Hartnett and is it Ben Affleck? I forget. Where like, it's like, oh, you were off to war. I didn't think you were gonna come back, so I slept with your best friend. Like, you couldn't wait like a little longer. Like that kind of stuff, right? Like, I get it, you know, the temptations of the loins. That's tough, but like that's just. But Raven forgives her. Saying, but then she doesn't trust it because it's like some creepy guy who's like channeling this spirit, and no one would know about this affair, right? So she's weirded out. Who are you? And he says, a friend, a kindred spirit. Oh yeah, totally trustworthy. Who also yearns for peace of mind and soul. Whoa. Red Tornado. I've never seen Red Tornado before. It's kind of a cool outfit. That cape's pretty sweet. Flash continues, not that I'm not glad to see another whirlwind in red, but what are you doing here? And Aquaman says, looking all jacked in the corner with Black Canary, I asked him to come, Wally. Yes. Aquaman brought me up to date with the internal crisis that destroyed the League while I was disabled. But this massacre and other current events suggest the external crisis is a more pressing concern. Why do they need to wear suits, my brain asked. So we can tell who they are. I like this version of Aquaman too. I mean, also like the DC version of Atlantis, like for example,